This IEM feels weird. And it's not because of the fact of its very controversial name, which I believe most of you guys have already started making fun of probably in the comment section. No, it's actually because of the fact that this IEM is being marketed by TinHifi for being quote unquote the master of balance. But the only mastery that I found it to bring to the table is with its ability to bring out the imperfections in your audio and rather enhance it. Yeah, that probably made zero sense to you guys. So let's talk more about this IEM. Okay, so let me share a quick story behind this IEM. So TinHifi had actually reached out to me around 5 months back asking me if I wanted to review their product, to which I obviously said yes, provided there's no money transfers involved in either end, and that I'm allowed to share my honest opinions with you guys. But then it took a good 3 months or so for this IEM to reach my doorstep. So it's only recently that I found myself a bit of a time to unbox it and find what the fuss is all about regarding this IEM. Now the version of this IEM that was sent out to me is called the commemorative edition. It's just a fancy way of saying that you get a Type-C DSP cable in this box, apart from what you usually get in the normal edition. Now with that being said, the availability of this IEM is a bit concerning because I found this to be listed in just about a couple of websites only, linsol.com being one of them, and spec-wise I found this IEM to be priced quite decently at about $100 or so, and this is for the commemorative edition because the standard version costs much less by a whopping $20. Alright, so taking a closer look at these shells, their design is, well, okay to say the most. These are built entirely out of metal and have this gunmetal colorway, which I think is pretty awesome, but that's pretty much everything there is to say about them. It's a very muted design for the most part. Now, of course, it's not the outside that matters, because inside these shells is a 13mm planar magnetic driver with an impedance of about 32 ohms. Now, if we talk about the cables, these were definitely not up to the mark, at least for me. They get tangled up quite easily and they do not feel like they belong to a $100 IEM, to be honest. So till now, everything that I've said about this IEM feels kind of normal, right? But what about the most important aspect, you may ask? What about the sound quality? Is it actually the master of balance? Well, no, not at all. This is far from being balanced. The way these IEMs are tuned, it's more like the Gen 1 planars, to be honest. So it's like a hard V-shaped sound signature having tons of high-end punch, so a lot of high energy in the treble, accompanied by a sub-bass punch. But the thing that felt really weird to me is the dryness throughout the entire frequency range. Of course, the graph seems pretty normal if we temporarily ignore the higher frequencies. But if we focus our attention to the treble, this is the region that will take you by surprise. Usually in most IEMs, you'll get to see a gradual roll of just about 4 kHz or so, because that is the tonality that appeals to the general audience. So all thanks to this extra amount of energy in this frequency range that you get with this IEM, you're actually being served with a lot of details in the treble. And it is so much that you'll now start noticing a lot of imperfections in your audio tracks. Things like lip smacks or mouth clicks, and even things like the drumsticks grazing the edges of your drum kits. Yeah, things like that will be audible. But all this comes at a cost, and that is a very unnatural tonality. And don't even get me started on sibilance because it is there and it sounds horrible in spite of this IEM having that dip around the 10 kHz region or so. The mid-range also takes quite a hit here because the female vocals, although they are served with a lot of detail, sound shouty most of the times. And they also sound kind of nasally at times. It's like the artists are having a cold and they are forced to sing in front of the microphone. Now if we talk about the male vocals, of course these are also quite detailed, but they do not have any kind of warmth to them. So they kind of feel unnatural and a bit dry. Think of it like you're being served a really cold plate of biryani with the ghee and everything all dried up. And finally coming to the bass, well, the bass slams felt really fast, too fast sometimes to catch up with the rest of the frequencies, so this is something that felt weird to me as well, and the only thing that was good here is the sub-bass rumble. So in a nutshell, I'm gonna say that these IEMs are strictly for those of us who are looking to analyze songs, trying to find out the imperfections or micro details that are otherwise missed out by IEMs in the $100 price point. But as I mentioned earlier, the sacrifice to the natural tonality didn't just make the cut for me. I definitely thank TinHifi for letting me experience this kind of an IEM, and I hope to see them coming up with better offerings in the future. And with that out of the way, I'm definitely not going to recommend this IEM to any of you guys right now, because so far as planar magnetic IEMs are concerned in the $100 price range, there are much better options that are available to you. Here are some of my picks. You can feel free to select any of them because I don't think you'll miss out on anything with these IEMs. Alright, so that is pretty much it for this video, and I really hope you guys got some value out of it. The links to purchase everything that I've mentioned are there in the video description, so make sure to check them out. And as always, for more such videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one.